Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Countdown to Confidence. This is life lesson number 5 today. Forgiveness is a key to greater favor and open doors. Hi, I'm Layla Faye, Holistic Life Coach, and I am thrilled to have you here as we are continuing with the Countdown to Confidence. And I'm excited to share with you today's life lesson. And again, as I've shared before during this countdown, these life lessons are areas that just went deeper in my life this year. Some of them are things that we've known for a long time, but I love as a life coach taking lifestyle practices and life lessons that we've known, head knowledges, where they really go deeper into a heart knowledge and truly transform our behaviors. When our behaviors really start to align to our true identity and reflect our priorities, our core values, then we are living truly empowered as world changers. And we are so capable of creating ripple effects of change. So I'm so thrilled to have you. I welcome Susan here. It's so awesome to have you online with me. I am thrilled to be sharing in this countdown to confidence. This is my favorite week of the entire year between Christmas and New Year's. It's such an amazing time of catalytic connection, rest, and reflection. Because, let's face it, during a long holiday weekend for Christmas and then an extended weekend for New Year's, there's just not enough time to fully ramp up and power into a full work week. No matter the expectations that may be put on you, or perhaps you've even put on yourself, I want to encourage you, take this week, even if you feel still kind of maybe the busyness or momentum of a push, throw some elbows and make room to rest. This is a week of powerful reflection, and it is a great time to ask yourself the bigger picture questions. I want to encourage you to fly up in my private jet to that 30,000 foot cruising altitude to get the big picture on your life, because sometimes that fresh perspective is what fuels your clarity and empowers you to step out with greater confidence and assurance that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, doing what you're to be doing. So in the countdown, we're at the halfway mark. We're at life lesson number 5 today. And again, it is about that. Forgiveness really is a key. And it's not just a key to healthy living and being content and confident in your own skin. It is actually a key that opens greater doors of favor and abundance in your life. So let's explore that a little bit. And Tamara, I welcome you and thank you for joining me online live as well today. Forgiveness is such a powerful thing, and it's something we're taught from a young age to forgive those that hurt us. And as I just mentioned, that this week is such a time for asking great questions, the bigger picture, and great reflection. It is a really good time. One of the questions I've been asking people is, if there's one thing that you can leave behind in your life in 2016 and not take into the new, what is it? And it's been interesting because there's actually been a few people that have shared with me, I want to stop being offended. And let's face it, as human beings, we are messy. There is no getting around that. And we're really good at hurting each other. I think there's a great sad percentage of our population that walks around, dubbed the walking wounded, because they're really hurt by family or friends or circumstances, and they can't get out of it. And if you find yourself in that place of hurt or woundedness, I want to speak to your pain points today. I want you to find fresh healing and hope. And I want to share with you some key ways of practicing forgiveness. It is, it really is a key, and it's not always the easiest thing to get to. Sometimes, forgiveness, we can just, quick things, little things happen. Someone, I don't know, my daughter was riding around on her new scooter the other day and rolled right over my feet while I was cooking in the kitchen. I was like, ow, and that was a quick, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. And it's like, okay, I forgive you. There's little things like that, but then there's those things that become like slings and arrows straight into our heart, or can kind of obliterate us in points that can be a little bit harder to process through. So to step into forgiveness, one, you just have to slow down enough to examine your heart, to be honest with yourself and say, gosh, is there anything in me where I'm being held back? Is there anything that feels uncomfortable or tense? Or do I have ill thoughts towards myself or someone else? Get honest with yourself in doing that. And I think it's really important in those areas of hurt to take it up a step and go, what is it that I can learn from the circumstance? I know this year there were definitely uncommunicated, unmet expectations in my camp. And I got upset. And I'm so grateful that I do have a daily practice of prayer and meditation. And within hours of a really great offense, I was able to see it and quickly align and go, what is there for me to learn from this? And I felt, even as I walked through this specific disappointment and hurt, I really found such a release, and I immediately found a key and a gold nugget to living, and saw my life coming into a greater alignment of purpose. Is it how I would choose it? Of course not. But it's how it was. So, and I welcome Glenda, just joined us live too. Thank you so much, Glenda, for being here with us. We're talking about life lesson number 5 today, that forgiveness is a key to greater favor and open doors. So to practice forgiveness, it is first important just to slow down enough to search your heart and really see if there's any areas in you, because unforgiveness is not something we want to carry with us. I know studying the roots, even the spiritual roots of disease, the unforgiveness can cause bitterness in our body, and it can manifest in pain in your body. I'm going to continue to give you this list of 7 key things on how we process forgiveness, and I'm going to end talking to you a little bit about our emotional health and emotional metabolism, because forgiveness really plays into it in a huge way. So again, so search your heart and ask yourself and really seek if there's any unforgiveness in you. And if there is a certain situation, ask yourself, what can you learn from that certain situation in your life? What are the gold nuggets that you can mine out? And then step into exercising forgiveness. And I know, sometimes forgiveness truly it's all about the state of your heart and your mind. And sometimes you don't have the opportunity, or sometimes it's not even necessary to go directly to the person that has offended you or created the offense. Sometimes it really is just deciding, making that decision to walk that out. And I think it is important just to figure out if there does need to be connection with that other person to have that full closure, or if it is something that some people I know, in exercising forgiveness, they can simply write a letter, and then they store that, or they burn it and release it. So walking through that forgiveness, and then really be open to a deeper healing in yourself spiritually, in your spirit, soul, and body, that you can receive that forgiveness. Number 5 is focus on your future. Don't hold so tight. So after you've forgiven and you start to heal, then you can really set your eyes and your focus on your future. And because forgiveness keeps us in the past, it keeps us living in days gone by, as it can get you stuck. So as you practice forgiveness, you're able to step be present again fully and start to look at your future. Number 6, you learn to trust again. You learn to let people in, and it is just, you start to grow and expand in new ways. And number 7, you just start making forgiveness a daily habit, because you get to practice that. If you can do that kind of heart check on a daily basis. Every morning when you wake, I encourage my clients to do their morning intentions and to what are they grateful for? What needs to be done in the day? How are they going to have fun? And seek their heart. How are they feeling about their life? Are there things that are holding them back? And that is a perfect open opportunity to practice forgiveness. So that becomes a lifestyle. And in that, you know what's so exciting is your emotional quotient starts to rise. I love it. Our IQ gets set by like the age of 4, but our emotional quotient can always increase all of our days. And we're always in a process of improving and growing and expanding. So your EQ can get a daily boost. But I want you to know what's so exciting in this process of practicing forgiveness, in this emotional quotient boost, you start becoming unoffendable. You start becoming, I always say that I'm a duck. I'm a duck, I'm a duck, I'm a duck. Things can happen in life and it just rolls off my back. And it is so liberating and freeing. I know ultimately I am judged by the character of my heart and how I interact and love around the world. And I believe you really cannot go wrong being generous. And offenses, and I'm not saying that I don't get hurt or offended, but it's rare. It's really rare because life is just too short to carry those things on. And all of a sudden you start to realize that sometimes the things that we can become offended about really aren't about us at all. They're usually somebody else projecting their own challenges, insecurities, or doubts about their process on you. Or maybe you're even reading the situation wrong and there was no offense in the first place. It's just, so we have to be mindful about how we do this, but practicing forgiveness on a daily basis really starts creating that unoffendable you. And you get to go through life with a greater sense of ease and contentment and maturity. And your emotional health is so precious. And Jess, I welcome you. Thank you for joining us today. It's great to have you here. I want to talk to you a little bit about our emotional health. As a holistic life coach, I really do work a lot with entrepreneurial and women in leadership to help them with their careers as well as their full lifestyle, that they can live and love their life on purpose. But one of the ways that I approach it is by 4-zone health. And some of you that have received today's download from the Countdown to Confidence with some of the life tools and the reflection questions, see, I kind of laid that out there. The 4-zone health is your physical, emotional, spiritual, and relational health. Those are the 4 zones. And at any one point, you have an imbalance in any one of those, it starts to affect the others. You know, I love it. People can come and go, oh, Layla, I want to lose weight, or I want to improve this relationship. We have to focus and check in the other areas and see if they're balanced. Because once you dig down in your own muck a little bit. We all have muck. It's okay. We're messy. But as we dig down into it and we set our foundations firm and we align to our true identity and our core values, we start to blossom and all those areas get fortified and strengthened. So today I'm going to focus on that one of those quadrants of your core foundation, of your emotional health. And over the years I've studied and I love the Institute of the Psychology of Eating. It's absolutely fascinating to me. They have amazing courses. And one of their big lessons is on emotional metabolism. And we've all gotten used to hearing and comfortable, I think, with the term emotional eating. And we know that when you're stressed or things like that, you can have different triggers that then cause you to crave, your salty, crunchy chips or your dark chocolate or whatever it is, your milkshakes, your comfort food, right? And, but what was interesting to me in studying the emotional metabolism, it talks about how our emotions on a clinical cellular level are actually processed the exact same way as the foods we eat and the things we drink. Our emotions are processed on a cellular level. So if you're just in survival mode and you're stuffing down your emotions, they're going to require to be acknowledged and they're going to demand an outlet. So literally when you experience something, and again, this all ties into your practice of forgiveness, okay? Again, today's Countdown to Confidence, life lesson number 5, we're at the halfway mark, is that forgiveness is a key to greater favor and open doors in your life. And so as we're looking at your emotional health and practicing forgiveness, when you process through something, so you've just gone through a trauma, your heart and mind take it in. So your mind takes in all the data and the information, it passes it to your heart that then assigns it some emotion. And then there's actually greater number of neuropaths from your heart back to your brain. So then your heart sends the message back to the brain and says, this is how you're feeling. This just made you feel sad. Well, then your head then communicates that to your gut, where 80% of your health is managed, okay? And I'm sorry if this is getting too much. I teach one of these classes on emotional well-being and emotional aromatherapy, and the things are fascinating to me because then your stomach then communicates to the rest of your body. It says you got your 3 brains, you got your head brain, your heart brain, your gut brain, doing their great jobs. So all of a sudden, information, your heart says it's sad, goes all the way to your gut, and your gut then tells your body if there is dis-ease in your body, that there's a discomfort in your body, and it responds accordingly. So that is why people under great duress and high levels of stress develop ulcers, or sometimes great stress or emotional, even depression or things like that can actually cause digestive issues. And there's a lot of other things that can cause some of the same symptoms, but sometimes people can't figure out what's going on in their body. All their tests can even come back negative because their emotional health is actually debilitating their body. Their body's trying to defend itself. It thinks it's under fire, and it's actually your emotions that are not being processed. That is why I think it is so monumentally important as a priority to take care of yourself. The way that you feed your body, the way that you exercise, interact with others, get out in nature, it's also important because you can release and express your emotions as opposed to stuffing. If you are in a season of isolation or and let's face it, sometimes in survival mode, we can be in denial. It can get really challenging. And so checking in on your emotional metabolism and your emotional health is huge. And unforgiveness, it is a bitter root. And literally, instead of creating fine wine out of your life that gets poured out of a place of freedom and generosity and emotional well-being, you're making vinegar. And so that's why it's just so important to go through those 7 steps. So if you're, those of you who tuned in a little late too, make sure you go back to the start of the video. I shared 7 key steps just to take you through the process of practicing forgiveness and really making it a lifestyle. It is so important. And what I love about that is then as we become unoffensible and, because what happens is if we don't practice forgiveness, and this is one of the saddest and hardest things for me, is that unforgiveness somewhere along the line communicates to ourselves a victim mindset. And our mindsets are powerful. They're how we perceive our reality and our own truth. And if you're in a place of unforgiveness and seeing yourself as a victim, it keeps you stuck. There is no forward motion. And you know me, I love new beginnings. I'm all about momentum. I'm all about living on purpose. And if you're in a stuck place, and maybe you've been struggling for fresh vision or new momentum and a clean start, I think this life lesson's a great place to start, just to be still with yourself. Be quiet, or even put on some gentle music that you can really seek out your heart and your mind. And are there resentments or unmet expectations that you are holding on to, or literally some traumas or things where people have really hurt you? This is a season, this is a new day to experience and practice forgiveness. I want to see you unstuck. I want to see you living on purpose and not being defined, or the quality of your life being contained because of a past experience. I want to see you glean the gold nugget, the life lesson out of it, and move forward with fresh joy, with new healing in your heart and your mind, and a renewed mindset. Yes, Tamara, freedom. That is freedom, and it's living good, and it's living to your true identity, your true self, because you are purposed and positioned for great things. The God of the universe has given you breath and has put you here at this unique time in history to be you. The world needs you to be you. I need you in my life to be exactly who you are. Your creativity, your wisdom, your compassion. And I want to see you step fresh into that. So I thank you guys for joining with me. Let us all practice forgiveness. Let's make it a lifestyle and become unoffensible. Imagine the culture shifts that we have when we move into a place of freedom, way beyond any victimhood, into true identity and just loving with generous hearts. How different does daily life look like? Think of all the people that you run into that you know are beat down, that life has not been easy, or the different trials that they're going through. Imagine that when we're in a place that's rested and confident and secure in who we are, how much more we can hold space for others to find that same freedom and that same joy and happiness in life. So I just thank you guys. I want to see us all pay this forward. To live by example is the greatest way that we can truly be the change that the world is so hungry for. And so I just thank you guys for being part of the Countdown to Confidence. If you have not registered yet, go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/Countdown to Confidence, and there's just a simple registration form, and you will get all the tools that I've already sent out to everybody, plus the ones that are coming. Again, this is my favorite week of the year, an awesome time of reflection, dreaming, and positioning yourself for all that is to come in 2017. You guys are awesome rock stars. Continue to share these videos and these posts, and let's just pay it forward and love on those in our life. Have a wonderful day. Here's to living and loving your life on purpose.